Hello, welcome to the Geeks Garage. We have in today this Nintendo Switch blue screen of death, so they call it. We're going to try and sort it out if we can. Thought I'd throw the camera on, we'll do it together. I will try and go through it as fast as I can. And I'm sorry I'm covering half of it again with my left-handed camera on my left hand. There you go. Left-handed man. The left-hand camera doesn't work very well. I do cover everything. I've got nowhere to put it on the right. I will try and get organised and move it around at some point. Just a bit difficult. I don't have anything on the right hand side. All my screens and stuff are there, so I don't suppose I need to sit and talk and tell you what's what screws, etc. We've done this before. You do have the screws on the back, I will say it. All the screws on the back, 4 tri-wings, 1 in each corner. You've got 3 small Phillips, 2, 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom. And then you've got a very small one just at the bottom of the card reader here. Stand's missing on this one. That's all the screws out. Yeah, this has been opened before. Obviously somebody's had it open and tried to fix it. We've got missing screws and fingerprints all over the show. I need a basket to put stuff in. I keep just turning around and putting it on the floor. I'm going to end up dropping stuff, standing on stuff. That's where it's going. Yeah, we've got missing screws. Looking at the back cover, that's not even been put back in right. Looking at the back cover, I'm presuming it's been in a shop because you can see where the stickers have been taken off. So I'm assuming it's been somewhere for repair, they've not been able to fix it. It's gone back to the customer. They've sent it to me for, I'm assuming, a second opinion or a second repair attempt. I will be pointing out that the screws missing. These videos help this kind of thing. Whoever's had it has done an absolute crap job. I know they've not fixed it, but it's a mess in there. It's full of fingerprints everywhere. Right, let me have a little look. First little look. Oh, the board's full of missing screws as well. I hate this stuff, man. Fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 missing screws that I can see. I mean, take some pride in your work. Seriously, take some bloody pride in your work. And use screwdrivers that fit. Some of these are rounded off. Use a correct screwdriver. Take a bit of pride. You can't fix it, put it back together, as if nobody's been in there. You know. Starting to worry what I'm going to see in here now. We've spoke about this before. I like to cut that for a better fit when it goes back in. I mean, there you go. There's a screw missing on the fan as well because they don't know what they're doing. They've had it apart, they put the card reader in and then realised, oh, not put the screw in the fan. Tell you what, we just won't bother. I'd love these things to come. We've still got blue screen. Let's take the battery out. I'd love these things to come to me with, you know, some kind of evidence of where it's been before. You haven't even connected that again. I mean, it's just a waste of time. Absolute waste of time. I'm not the first person to have this off either, because it's got fingerprint underneath as well as flux all over the top. And another 2 missing screws there. I've basically put back together what you can see, apart from screws obviously. It's absolutely chucking it down outside, by the way. Whip the fan out with the 2 screws that it's got in it instead of the 3. Joke. Yeah, I've put the port screws back in. Suppose that's something. Oh, best mark that, because I've got quite a few behind me. Blue light, blue screen, whatever. Yeah, I've got about 5 or 6 switches behind me there. Right, that's changed. The watermark's changed. So let's hope this isn't liquid damaged. The whole back of it's full of flux. Right, let's look under the scope and see what delights lie before us. Okay, there we go. If I just turn my face off, I can't turn my face off. I don't even know how to use this thing. Oh, right, yeah. How do I turn my ugly mush off? There we go. I'll stick this. Oops. Stick that up there. Okay, it's a little bit better. Right, let's have a little look at what we have. Okay, let's start with this side. BQ2. That's never been touched by the looks of it. Bit of flux around here, but that's just shoddy workmanship. That's probably been hit with flux, to be honest. Where you know, what I'll call where they've cleaned the board. Changed M92. It's full of tweezer marks on the edge. Can you see that? Let me show you a little closer on that, because I mean this could cause all kinds of damage to the chip without you actually, you know, without realising. Look at the state of that. So I pride myself in my work. I don't know what some people. Are they using a set of pliers to come in here or what? I'm just going to put a good battery on this board and plug in my amp meter. I know we've got a blue screen, but I'm going to plug in my amp meter just to see that we're charging and everything okay, and there's nothing else amiss, because you know this is untidy. This jump straight to 43, 0.43 amps. Let me put the C's back on. That's me not doing my job very well now, isn't it? Sorry, let's flip you around to the other camera so you can see stuff. Right, up to 0.43 amps. It's not dropping down and doing a fast charge, okay? Now in all honesty, I don't know if we're getting fast charge on a blue screen. To be fair, I don't actually know. Something I should know, something I should have took note of before, but I haven't, so you know, I don't know. So what we'll do is we get the multimeter out and we'll do a little bit of testing just to see. We'll jump back to the scope. I believe that to be nice and good, but we will still test around this area anyway. I'm happy there. A little test around here. I mean, this here doesn't look like it's soldered on that one pin. Appears to be good. I will take that back off and redo it because I'm not happy with it. Oh Christ, look at the state of that. That's absolute shite as well. Fucking hell. I mean, there's no short there, right? But half the bloody chip's not even on. Half the chip's not even on. Look at the state of that. There's nothing there. Let me see if I can show you this. Look at that. They're not even making a connection then. I mean, alright, I know there is some pads underneath, but come on. Play the game. The other side's not too bad. That side's not too bad. That side's alright. This side here, it's atrocious. So it's not just a blue screen. That's two ICs that have to come off and go back on. I mean, the whole board is covered in flux. The whole thing. And what did they do? Just Christ. Just paint the board in flux. shit. It's going to have to be ultrasonic cleaned as well now. That's an absolute farce. It's a joke. Trying to see here now if we have any missing components anywhere. I can't believe how much flux is over this board, man. I can't believe it. Now these people that are doing these kind of repairs are charging people. You know, you're going in as a customer into a shop and you're paying money to have them do this kind of work to your item. They're trashing it. Completely and utterly trashing it. Look at that. They've had this shield up. I'm dreading what I'm going to see when I go under there. Look, see that? They've had that shield up. Oh crap. Right, let me get the shield up. We'll see what we're looking at. My word. Yeah, they've had this out before. Going to look under it and throw some flux under there and say, oh yeah, that's still not working. Oh my god, the fuck is that? Seriously? Oh, fuck. Well, there's one thing. It's not absolutely caked with flux under here. They haven't done a reball on this. I mean, they've thrown all this under here, right? But they hadn't renewed it on the top of the shield. Why even bother? Am I having a bit of a rant? I do apologise, but I guess I'm a tits this. Now I'm not gonna straight away. I'm not gonna take this off. That's not what I'm gonna do first. I'm gonna try a reflow first. If we get it working on a reflow, happy days. We will test it completely, make sure it's all working happy and you know, fine. If it is, then it goes back to the customer with a warranty, so no problem. If we do a reflow and we get it working, but I'm not happy with how something went, then we will whip this chip off, reball it, put it back on. If I do a reflow and it doesn't work, I will also take this chip off, reball it and try that. And we'll take it from there. But either way, the customer gets a warranty. you know. I've had plenty. You get away with a reball, and I've had plenty you get away with just a reflow. Touch wood, I haven't had any reflow work brought back to me. You know, 6 months, 7 months down the line, I've not had anything come back to me to say, you know, you've done a reflow on this and I've got the blue screen again, or anything like that. So some people will not do a reflow as a permanent repair because they don't think it is a permanent repair. Like I said, I've not had any comebacks on just a reflow, but I have reflown I have done a reflow on some, and then it's been working fine and everything else, but then I've decided to go back in, take the chip out and reball it anyway. Just depends on the, you know, you get a feel for it and you go from there. Right, I can't get that out any further. What you see is what you see, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it back to this camera for us. I'm going to flux underneath the chip, stick it on my rework station, heat it up to a temperature where the solder is molten, and then we will give it a test and see how we're done. Okay, it's a bit messy this stuff, but I like it. I do like it. It's a nice liquid flux. I'll try and do this so you can see. I like to go and put a couple of drops on there at this angle, and you can see, if you can see, the flux has gone all the way underneath that board and it's come out the bottom. If I put us back to that view, you can see here, this here, it's flux, yeah, that wasn't there before, yeah, and all that came from the top here on an angle, and it's flowed through the rest of it. Right, now for this next part, I don't have a camera over there, so I can't, there's no way I can, you know, I don't have a list of 10 cameras in this room, and it takes about, on my machine, on the setup I've got, takes about 8.5, 9 minutes in total. So I will keep it playing, recording. While that's doing that, I'll come back and chat with you, and I don't know, I might have something on the bench that we can carry on with in the meantime while this is working overtime. I don't think there's anything. I've got an iPad mini that I need to put a new charging port on, but I'm not going to start that because I'm not going to do it in 8 minutes. So let me turn my machine on. Can we take you to this one? Alright, let's turn this machine on. fact, before we do that, actually, I'll come back here. Give you back on this view and show you, look, there's the flux, that's the little bit of a stain at the bottom of the flux that we put on. Put that at the right angle, you can see that this is all sticky with flux. What I'm going to do, I'm going to mark it, yeah, along there. We'll mark the charging port. Okay, so when it comes back and we put it back together, you know it's the right one, and we can see together if we can do this on the first attempt or not. Oh shit, swatted my machine. Sorry, but this does take a little bit of time to get it spot on my machine. Okay. Okay. Right, that's that machine on. You might be able to hear it in the background. Let me stick my timer on so I can go and check it. Okay, timer's on, that'll give me a bleep and I can jump up and check it. Oh, I didn't swap it to that camera, sorry, sat looking at the map. Right, what have I got that I can do? I don't know, you know. I don't know. Oh, I was doing a reball of another switch. Carry on with a bit of this. You can watch this. This is a reball that I'm doing. You have to jump back on the scope to watch me, I suppose. It's a reball I'm doing by hand. It's a manual reball. I'll do a little bit of this while we're waiting. Talk to you at the same time. This is tedious, this. Oh, I see all them then. Oh, these are jumping around. What's going on? What's going on with that? Oh. Whoa, what's going on with this? Raised up a little bit at one side there. That was a bit strange, that was. Maybe I shouldn't have stopped this yesterday, I should have carried on. I think the flux may have dried a little, which isn't ideal. The balls appear to have static. Don't know how that's happened. I don't really want to be going where I want them to go. We're running downhill. Funny feeling. I need to start this again. This isn't going to work. I think the flux, you put a very small coating of flux on the top to make it a bit sticky. Not too much, because you don't want it bouncing around when you start applying the heat. But I think it's dried up, because this is no good. Yeah, go take that. We'll go put that away. I need to start that again. I do apologise for that. But that's no good. That'll need to be started again. Sorry about that. I've got nothing else that I can just start. Just let me have a quick. What we on time wise. That's 6 minutes in. We'll have a quick look. another minute or so. We should have a little bit of movement on that, then we can cool it off. Look, don't want to overdo it. Still not done, so temperature's up there, but we don't have any movement. Right, got a bit of movement in the bottom corner. Give it another minute. That should all be moving. Then we can cool it back off. Still not getting any movement in the top right corner. Got a bit of movement at the bottom. In the top right corner I'm not getting any movement. Typically it's around that top right corner that pads get lifted and stuff, so that's obviously the part that takes the longest. I don't know why. It's going into the middle of the board, I suppose. Maybe there's more ground up there, I don't know, but it takes a little bit longer, that corner. You can't rush it, but you can't overdo it either. That's why I have to keep coming back to it. There we go. Yeah, that's it. We're cooling off now. We'll cool that board off, takes a minute or so. Bring it back over there, stick it in the housing. Get it back in the housing and see if we're a win. If it's a win-win. I mean, how long have I been recording? I mean, it takes a little bit longer because doing a video and I'm chatting a load of chat. But I'm 40 minutes in. You know, we'll get that off there, we'll get this back in here. Fingers crossed we're done first time. It's done within the hour. Although that board has to come out, go through the ultrasonic bath, get completely cleaned of all that crap that's on it. But fingers crossed we won't have a blue screen. In fact, fingers crossed we actually have a screen at all. Otherwise it's got to come off and all be reballed. And at the moment I've stood on my stencil, I've bent it, it's no good, I'm waiting for another one in the post, hence why that one's getting done by hand. This one probably won't get done by hand, it should be here any day, so if this isn't done I'll jump on the iPad, do that. I've also got a Beats Pill speaker in today, that needs new batteries because we've got no, it's not charging, so that needs new batteries. Put some new batteries in that, I can jump on those two to finish off today I think. Let's see how we're cooling off. Down to a good temperature now. And I'll leave it cooling because not everything's down to temperature completely. The board is cooled. We know everything on the top's good. What we have to do is jump on the bottom. Make sure the board's not bent, twisted. It shouldn't have, it's quite small, it's well supported. We'll check the components on the bottom first. This can go off now because it is noisy. Right, we will jump onto that view again. There's the mark we put on there. So, and you can see it's all dried up, but you can tell it's been done. You can tell the fluxes, residue around the sides, bits run out at the top there. And what we want to do on the other side is check that there's no components missing, everything's there, nothing's moved. Because I'm quite lazy, I didn't, I don't cover anything up. You don't really need to with this switch, to be honest, but it's just on the safe side, so have a quick look, make sure nothing's moved. I'm happy with that. Right, let's stick it in and see what happens. Where did I just put that? Yeah. Let's swap us back to this screen, right? Put the board back in. We won't need to connect everything, but we'll get it connected enough to see if we still have a blue screen, or in fact a Nintendo Switch screen. Okay. I know I don't have to, but I do like to put the power cable back in, the power switch back in. Where's my long tweezers? I do like to put this back in. We like to put the screen back in, obviously. That wasn't me that caused that big scratch on there. Can you see that in there? Oh no, you're on the big screen, aren't you? Sorry. Big screen, Mac camera. Don't know. This one here is backlight. Put that back in. So we've got the backlight in. We've got the on-off button back in. We've got the screen back in. Now, let's put the battery back in. I don't know whether this battery is good or not. Should be. We had the blue light on with it. So, flip it over. Hit the power button. We get nothing. Let's plug the charger in. Oh, I didn't put the AMCC back in, did I? AMC even. Won't get nothing without that. Okay. Battery back in. Basically have the minimum things that we need to plug it in and give it a go. Nintendo Switch. We have a working Switch with a flat battery. Let's put a bit of power into that battery. We now have a working Switch that's charging. Yeah. I can't open it, touchscreen won't work because I've not put that part back in. But basically, that reflow worked a treat. So what we'll do is, in fact, what we'll do it together. I didn't notice if I was getting. I won't get fast charge off that battery because it's pretty damn flat. So, but what we will do is we'll put it all back together. Make sure we've got everything working, eh? Alright. I like to put a couple of screws in this board. I know it never came with any, but it certainly won't go out without them. The board will come back out. Everything will go back on. New screws will go back in. The customer will have a working device in a better condition than when it came to me. So, you know, it makes me happy knowing that it's gone back in that working state. I really don't understand why. I just don't get why, you know, people decide that they're going to do half a job and then take your money for it. Seriously. I'm not going to put the cover back on this. I'm just going to put it back together to make sure we've got touch screen, we're charging, we've got sound, everything else, because it needs to come out. I need to clean that board. So, but for the sake of video's sake, we will get it so to show everything works for the sake of the video. I'm not going to show the video of me stripping it back down and sticking it in the ultrasonic bath and everything else because it's just pointless. is just pointless. And I will take the 2 chips off and reflow them. Like I said, I don't want any comebacks on me. I don't want anybody to be, you know, unhappy with my work. The customer's never going to believe that it was done by the last person that didn't actually fix it. All they're concerned is, I fixed it, and it isn't, you know, it breaks down the line or whatever. I want to know that what I've done is right. And I have a nice clean conscience. And hopefully they have a nice clean working Nintendo Switch. At the end of the day, this Switch will probably be going back to a child. They've obviously had it out the hands for long enough. I certainly don't want to give it back to them and then them be disappointed 2 weeks down the line because it's broke again, you know. So I would much rather do my bit. That battery is a bit dead, so we will throw a good battery in just for a minute while we do this little test. Out of the way, switch it back on, get a couple of Joy-Cons. We have touch, we have volume, we have that Joy-Con that's not working, that one is. Did I plug that one in? We got a dodgy one. Oh Christ, that wasn't the best move, was it? Just let me check. That was in tight. No, it wasn't. Sorry, that was my fault. Chance it over, forgetting I pulled that foot battery in. I'll lift that back out because I want to make sure we get the nice sound out of it. Nice. Happy days. Got a couple of downloaded games on. Happy days, all good. The only thing we've not checked, which we do have touch screen, we know we've got touch screen. Yeah, a bit brighter. that's all working fine now. Happy days, I'm happy with that. Like I said, I'm going to take it all apart, clean it all back up, send it back to the customer after she's been invoiced, and hopefully we'll have a happy customer. I will stick it on a dock and try it, but before I do that I will change those 2 chips back out. So lovely. Happy days. Okay, you've been watching a repair done by me, Colin, at the Geeks garage. If I can do a repair for you, give us a shout. If I can offer you any advice, anything at all, give us a shout. I'm happy to answer any questions. If you've liked the video, click the like button. If you want to see some more videos, click the subscribe button. And I'll see you next time. So, thanks very much. Take it easy.